I just remember at USC when Paul Hackett was there and Carson Palmer was just, he couldn't see straight because Paul brought in his Jets play calling, right? And he was just, Carson was so lost in the system. And it was overwhelming, and they could not play. When Pete Carroll got in there, the first thing he did was burn that play calling book. I mean, it was gone, and he just made everything super, super simple for Carson. Then he relaxed into the system, and then obviously went on to win a Heisman.
I think he brought in Norm Chow.
Yeah, brought in Norm.
Norm
who was the most
simple,
calming,
basic. Yeah.
Most calming influence of all time.
That's quarterback play. It's about simplicity for the quarterback. You want to make the game easy for the quarterback.
You think it's going to work in Denver?
What I do like is that they have each other's back. You know, Russell after the week 1 debacle in Seattle, Russell knew that they should have been going for it on 4th down, and he would not throw his head coach under the bus. Now, I kept telling people, listen, that's all the thing. That's all he had to do was say, did you guys see our 4 possessions in the red zone on 4th down? That's all he had. That would explain why you kicked it. Yeah, exactly. Like you literally had a legitimate excuse. But he then said, I probably should have went for it.
Yeah,
which is if you didn't learn nothing from Bill Belichick is you never give in to what the media thinks you should have done.
Big mistake, just to even make it look like you're bleeding a little bit, right?
Never do that. Never.
That's funny because Rich and I heard that differently. We kind of thought he was joking when he said that because immediately after that, he went on to explain how McManus said his number was the 46-yard line. We got to the 46-yard line, and it was 4th and 6, and we didn't like how the offense was looking, and so we just decided to kick it.
Once again,
yeah,
you don't. Russell got what, $200 million?
You got a lot. 240.
You don't like how your offense was looking. Like literally, hey, we had 3 or 4 possessions from the 5-yard line, and we kicked 1 field goal, and I think we turned it over 2 or 3 times. Yep. I wasn't feeling good on 4th down going for it. The numbers were, it was in his favor.
That's all you had to say.
That's all he had to say. All right, I see why you kicked it. Okay.
And Russ had 340 yards in that game. I mean, just to let him make a play.
Why wouldn't Russ just say, dude, let me do this. Get out of my head. Like, let me do this. That's what I don't get.
Because that's the good guy in Russ.
Yeah.
Like, we never saw the bad guy in Russ. Even in Seattle when they weren't putting players around and wasn't doing anything, when he felt like they didn't have his back, you know, he never really, you just heard that he wanted to be traded. And it was like, what? That's it. But that's the good guy. Now, if that was Aaron Rodgers, it'd be a different story. Aaron would have aired all the dirty laundry. He'd have gave it to him.
Well, they did. LaFleur did that to Aaron in a playoff game.
But I'm just saying, because Aaron, he deals like that.
Right.
He's not trying to listen, here's what it is. Like, you're going to hear from Aaron Rodgers. And what I like about Aaron, what he does is, he said, I got to play better. I don't know if you guys heard him. You know what? We won, but I got to play better. I got to do better. I was like, that's the kind of guy you want to be in a huddle with.
Look, I've never played the game clearly, but it seems to me that if you're Russell Wilson, it's kind of like Josh Allen last night when they were in the red zone, and I think McDermott wanted to check him and whatever. He's like, we're going for it. You wouldn't say, like, if you're that much of a veteran, I know it's a new relationship, you got the yards behind you in that game. At what point do you just check it off and say, you got to trust me on this? It's kind of like, I guess I would equate it to like sometimes the guys will just change the play that's been called in from the sidelines in basketball. Why wouldn't he have just said, look, you got to trust me on this? I
just think that there's no trust there yet.
Right.
It's just not there. It's implied, but I can't believe that it's there yet. And in what game could they or did they develop it? I mean, it's not there.
Russ could have just been like, I'm the Karen in this relationship. I'm gonna call this play.
That's the last thing he wants to do.
It's a long season, I know, but God, it's like
that's the last thing you want to do.
It's so easy. I know.
I'm
teasing you. Come on.
You want to take that on? Oh,
no,
my God.
No. But it's easy to dissect from the next day, right? It's very easy to sit here and in this chair and say he should have done this, he should have done that.
Yep. But I think for me, if I was the head coach, based on what I saw in the red zone,
Right.
our short yardage and goal line, what we were doing, it would have been easy for me to say go kick it too. Now, there's a caveat to this part, which is Seattle had to protect from the deep ball. So, can you run a hitch? But the numbers said, for me, based on their short yardage and goal line, kick it.
Yep, and they did, and we know what happened. So here we are talking about it
There with
days
the results.
later. I hear you.
A lot of other plays could have won the game.
Oof. So easy to coach from the seat, isn't it? It's so easy.
We got the best seat, you
We
guys.
have the best seat in the house.